Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia, and this is the situation report, or the SITREP, or the summary for the day of 842 to 843 for the 14th to the 15th of June for the Ukraine war or the special military operation in Ukraine. And so, Commander, do press the like button and subscribe. I'm not going to talk too much about this. No, you know what to do. And we're going to start off with the frontline changes report. Another day has passed. The frontline changes report yesterday I've already published, and the past 24 hours there's more frontline changes. Another day, another massive Russian advances in multiple locations. So there is everything is red. There is frontline changes over at Novo-Oleksandrivka, Sokyu, Yasnobrodivka, Karlivka, Krasnohorivka, as well as Georgivka. So we're going to start off with the frontline changes over at the Novo-Oleksandrivka. So this is some massive frontline change reported by Deep State UA, the pro-Ukrainian source. Russian forces have captured almost the entirety of Novo-Oleksandrivka, as well as the northern outskirts and the northern tree lines of Novo-Oleksandrivka. And with the previous securing of the southern part, the Russian forces have good buffer protecting Novo-Oleksandrivka, leaving just a little bit of Novo-Oleksandrivka in the northwestern part left, as well as this heavy entrenchment over on this western part of Novo-Oleksandrivka. Which means that if the Ukrainians do not defend this heavy entrenchment, we are going to see the Russians capturing Novo-Oleksandrivka within the next 24 hours to 48 hours. If they are willing to stay there and fight, then this might drag on for a week at least. So this is the current situation over in the northern part of the Avdiivka front, and there's more frontline change just south of this location. Over at Sokyu, the Russian forces have captured the rest of the trench line over in the northeastern part of Sokyu. A previous geolocation of the Bradley that was operating here is no longer valid. Russian forces have retake the entirety of this area here based on Ukrainian mapping. So all these are based on Ukrainian mapping. Of course, Ukrainians have very strong positions around here. There's a very heavy trench fortification around here, trench fortifications. So the Russians are not going to easily take Sokyu. So we will continue to monitor. The next frontline change is continuing south over at Yasnobrodivka. Not this one, over here. I think which one is this? Yeah, this one. So Russian forces have continued to advance on Yasnobrodivka as they put pressure from the east. They are currently on the eastern part. Russian forces have progressed massively over from the south or southeastern part of Yasnobrodivka as they continue to attack from the south, while the Russian forces keep the Ukrainians busy over on this eastern part of Yasnobrodivka. And the Ukrainians only have a few tree lines left to defend this area here. So the Russian forces is coming very quickly. Yasnobrodivka is under threat, and I think it's going to fall rather quickly, just like Netolove, this area of Netolove, because this is a bit hard. The Ukrainians will have to decide whether to defend or flee, as the river system over there is going to make it very disadvantageous for the Ukrainians. So we'll talk more about this during the strategy and tactical reporting. And the next frontline change after Yasnobrodivka is at Karlivka. In this area here, Russian forces continue the expansion west of Netolove, continue to move in the northern shores of the reservoir, and they are heading towards this causeway around here. So yeah, they are making progress on the opposite side of Karlivka. As we previously thought that the Russians was going to hit Karlivka, instead they are going north. So cutting off probably will cut off the retreat from Yasnobrodivka. Then the next frontline change after Karlivka is at Krasnohorivka. So at the Battle of Krasnohorivka, there's this massive change over on this western part of Krasnohorivka in the Donetsk front. Russian forces have expanded in this northwestern part of Krasnohorivka, as well as expanding very far into the west, capturing a major forest line, as well as an entire forest region along the railway station. The progress is around half a kilometer, 600 meters, 700 meters. So that's a lot of progress. in this area here. And as I mentioned before, a long time ago, as I was covering the Krasnohorivka situation, Russian forces can continue to just press onto the rear position and messing up the Ukrainian defenses. So after Krasnohorivka, the last frontline change is over at Georgievka. So yesterday's frontline changes report, we already talked about this area here where the Russian forces attack into Masiliamivka. There is a based on Russian mapping, Russian forces have actually expanded this area here based on Russian claims. So this is not corroborated on my side because I only have geolocation here, but the Russians actually claim the entire tree line. So these are the frontline changes report. Commander, do press the like button, and for those that are new to this channel or for those that have been watching this channel, maybe you want to check if you are subscribed. You may want to subscribe so that you will hyper grow the channel and let YouTube know that this channels, the videos should be promoted to more people. So we're going to go into the strategic and tactical reporting, and as usual, we're going to go into the Kharkiv front first. At the Kharkiv front, there's a lack of reporting in this area here. So there is not much reports about fighting over at the Lipsy sector. However, we do have some shelling or fighting reported at Ternova, according to the Russian Defense Ministry. Previously, we have geolocation of Ukrainian forces invalidating a huge chunk of territory, which the Russians may have been there. So this area here I've already covered in the frontline changes report. I'm not going to rehash this again. There's some other geolocations though. There's geolocation just south of Veterinane, the Kochacha Lopan. There's over at Dubivka and as well as Slobodansky. And these various locations, they got shelled by the Russian forces, but confirming Ukrainian presence in this area here. There's another one over here on the western part, eastern part of Mali Vasily. So these are airstrike. So we shall continue to monitor. Over on the Voschansk area here, at the Voschansk sector, Russian forces are continuing their attack in the area of Voschansk as well as towards Taikei. And there is some geolocation of Ukrainian forces in the southern part of Voschansk. Russian forces geolocated in the center of Voschansk. So there is some nuances regarding this area here in Voschansk. According to the Ukrainians, Russians have firm control of this industrial complex, the aggregate, and they have firm control of this area here of this neighborhood. However, they claimed all of this area here. So Ukrainians have control in the south of the river, and everything here is just gray zone. And some Ukrainian supporters or pro-Ukrainian reporters started to say that the Ukrainians are here. They have surrounded and encircled the Russian forces in this area here, which makes zero sense because this is gray zone. This is called gray zone for a reason, because if this is encirclement, then of course the Russian forces could easily just encircle back Ukrainian forces. So it just don't make sense. If this a gray zone, then maybe it's a gray zone. But theoretically speaking, even firm controlled regions, even all these firm controlled regions can be gray zones, as the Ukrainians can easily just attack in at any time if they are successful and they are sneaky enough. So in our mapping, we just do the logical. It's linked up. That the Russian forces have actually penetrated through in this area here. Ukrainians clearly they can actually pincer and actually cut them off into a encirclement, but then they will be under attack from the rear positions, which would just destroy them. So this is just a gray zone. So I don't think the speculation from the Ukrainian side makes any sense. They just look at the deep state US mapping as a deep state US mapping, draw it as an island on its own. I think I don't think it makes logical sense. Every single building is an island when you come to urban warfare. So it is what it is. So Taikei, there's nothing much to talk about. Ukrainian Defense Ministry acknowledged the fighting at Taikei, and that's about it. So we move on away from the Kharkiv front. We go into the Kupiansk front. So over at the Kupiansk front, Russian forces are attacking in the area of Sinkivka, Petropavlivka, as well as Peshani. The particularly we have some updates regarding at Peshani. The Russian forces over at the western part of Berestove and Kremalny line. Russian forces geolocated around here, expanding their control towards Peshani. And so we're going to see the Russians continue to make this advance towards Peshani as we go along. Ukrainian forces geolocated at Peshani getting shelled by Russian forces. So that's about it around here. The Russian forces, Ukrainian positions are also shelled in the trenches in the rear position of Peshani. So just showing that presence around there. Moving to the Svetove front, we have only fighting reported at Kharkivka or Grekivka, according to the Ukrainian Defense Ministry. Ukrainian forces are geolocated just off Yishikivka, a Lancet hitting a Ukrainian artillery in the rear position. So that's about it. The Svetove front is pretty quiet. And we move further south to the Crimea front. At the Crimea front, this front looks very activated. Russian forces attacking at Nevsky, Terny, this area. I think this is, oh no, they didn't attack here. Wrong, oh shit, oh no. Oh no, what did I undo? Oh no, what did I undo? Okay, forget it, I will check later. So Russian forces are also attacking at Dibrova as well as towards Kryhorivka, as well as shelling Dronivka. So there's a bridge over at Zarishny getting destroyed. If you zoom in, there's a bridge linking the left and east and the west half of the Zarishny. And there is a bridge over here that is destroyed. There's only another bridge further south over here at the Zerebets River. So one bridge is already gone. And Ukrainian forces geolocated have been shelled in this area here. So that's all over at this area here at the Crimea front. Sorry, I was checking my stuff. So over at the Sivers front, we do not have any reported attacks around here over the past 24 to 48 hours, except for the Dronivka as well as the Kharkivka one, which I already reported. And we move into the Bakhmut front. At the Bakhmut front, in the northern part of Bakhmut front, we only have fighting reported at Orikovo-Vasilivka. So nothing much to talk about. In the central part, Russian forces are attacking at Kalenina, Kanel, on the outskirts of Chasivya, west of Ivanivsky, in the area of Ivanivsky, towards Steposhki. So this is the current situation at the Bakhmut front. Pretty similar. There's frontline changes over at the Kanel region. At the Kanel region, the Russian forces taken the entire forest region in the northern part of Kanel. And this actually allows the Russian forces to have a stronger buffer, or defensive position in the north, so they can actually protect their northern flank, and then they can continue to concentrate their fight within the Kanel micro district. So this is the situation here. That's all over here at the Bakhmut front. There is some geolocation of a Lancet hitting a Crab self-propelled gun near Stinky. So clearly the Crab is Stinky. That's why he got hit by a Lancet. And over in the southern half, there is fighting reported at Andrievka as well as Klishevka. And there's a weird report coming from the Ukrainian side. The Deep State UA, the pro-Ukrainian side, say that the Russian forces retreated in the Serebransky Forestry and Klishevka. Retreated. I'm not sure. I think this kind of information, just take it with a pinch of salt. And so we move on. Nothing at the New York front. We move into the northern part of the Avdiivka front. So at the Avdiivka front, Russian forces, as mentioned in the frontline changes report, captured most of Novo-Oleksandrivka as they continue to push towards Vodizvizenka, and they are also attacking towards Vovche. Yeah, I think that's how you pronounce it. Yekhanivka, western part of Ocheretiny, at Sokil. So as mentioned, in this area here, Russian forces have captured the entire northern outskirts of Novo-Oleksandrivka and most of the Novo-Oleksandrivka. Ukrainians left with a little bit. Of course, they have a very strong trench line around here and in the south. So it's not going to be easy going for the Russians moving from this point onward. But the Russians may not necessarily need to do this. they can continue. They can just shell it and see whether they can drive the Ukrainians out. And this continue to validate the, my hypothesis that the Russians will go north from this area here. But of course, I saw a comment saying that maybe I'm wrong because the Russians are pushing west. My arrow north towards in the direction of Konstantinivka may take months, even up to the end of the year, to develop. So it may not be so fast. So, and of course, as they continue to push north, they're going to have to continue to protect the flanks as they continue to make this push further north and further north. So yeah, so that is just how it develops. It's going to take some time, long time. Anyway, further in the southern half, central half, southern half or central half, okay, central half of southern half, central half, whatever, Adiyevka front, the other half of the Adiyevka front, Russian forces attacking in the area of Novoporovsky, attacking towards Novoselivka, Persia. They're attacking Yasnobrodivka out of Netelove and towards the west of Netelove, towards the northeast of Khalivka. So we cover this part first. In the northern half, Russian forces geolocated on the eastern part of Novoselivka, Persia, which means that Russians are now on the verge of storming the settlement. However, the Russian forces generally like to attack from two different directions. I believe that the Russians is going to hold the line on the eastern part and wait for the attack coming from the south to meet them before they attack in the pincer. So the south is coming from Umansky. So the Russian forces attacking in two different directions is possible. I think this line will hold. Will hold first before the attack when the south come. Over at the Netelove region, Russian forces, as mentioned in the frontline changes report, have captured all these grounds. They created a massive buffer in the north of Netelove towards Yasnobrodivka, allowing the Russians to attack in the pincer, similar to the scenario I mentioned in up north. And the Russians are also pushing westward towards this causeway. I think this causeway will be useful. Russian forces can actually take this area here and create a very similar buffer zone as this area here. So these are all water bodies. You will allow the Russians to defend this captured territory much easier. So that's all from this Netelove region. And yeah, moving on. There's fighting reported at Nevelsky. According to Ryba, they say that the fighting at the Nevelsky region is not easy. It looks like it's pretty difficult. They're losing equipments, trying to attack Nevelsky. So we will just continue to wait for more information. Moving into the Donetsk front. At the Donetsk front, we just zoom out a bit to the strategic situation. The Russians are attacking at the Battle of Krasnohorivka, Georgievka, Paraskovievka, Konstantinivka. They're shelling Yelezavistivka. They're shelling Novo-Ukrainka, shelling Nekushny, as well as Blahodatny. I think there's no fightings around in the Staromayorsky and Uruzhaine region. I don't think so. Let me zoom in. Yeah, there isn't any there. So this is the current strategic situation over here. We go into details. In the Battle of Krasnohorivka, as mentioned in the frontline changes report, Russian forces are attacking in this central zone. They are attacking from the east, particularly over in this area around the school number 1. Russian forces have also expanded their control over in this northwestern part, as well as this western outskirt of Krasnohorivka. So this is a massive change around here, and particularly this also corroborates something that I mentioned before. Russian forces can pin the Ukrainians over at Krasnohorivka. As they continue to pin them over here, the Russian forces can start to push westward and attack into the rear positions where it's undefended or lightly defended by the Ukrainian forces, causing Ukrainian forces to have to react in a very chaotic manner to try to hold back the Russians. So, and as you can see, there's not much marked entrenchment all the way until this area here. at Kuraskivka or Oleksandropil, as well as this area here. So the Russians could potentially capture all this area here with not a lot of trouble. But of course, we shall see how this develops, because the urban warfare over at Krasnohorivka continue to be very challenging. But this is made probably easier because of the situation change over at the Georgievka region. Russian forces have captured Georgievka according to DPA's assessment. Based on the geolocation that we have, I think Russian forces geolocated in these various locations, confirming that the Russians have firm control over of the entire of Georgievka, and the battle of Maximilianivka has begun. So with this position, the Russian forces can now flank northward. So as the Russians continue to push west from Krasnohorivka, Russian forces from this area at Maximilianivka, as they continue to put pressure on the Ukrainians have to hold their positions around here. Russians can now push north and meet the Russians in this pincer, and this will cause massive chaos over in the Ukrainian side around here. So wow, very impressive. For 2 days we are seeing a lot of frontline changes. Clearly I'm not enough sleep, so no, it's time to press the like button. And so yeah, I'm begging you to press the like button. Some people say that no, don't beg. Okay, I'm not begging. This is an order. Press the like button. And over at the Konstantinivka region, Russian forces are still fighting in the area of Paraskovievka and towards Konstantinivka. No news regarding here. They're shelling at the Yelizavetivka, and the Ukrainian forces are geolocated here. This is actually a artillery system getting hit by, I think, counter-artillery action. So that's about it over in this sector. Further south, there is geolocation of Russian forces in the southwestern part of Novomikhailivka, simply showing the Russians are there invalidating Ukrainian claims. So that's about it. Small thing over here. And there's nothing else along the Voleda line. Over at the Velika Novosilka sector, there is no fighting being reported at Staromayorsky or Uruzhaine. What we do have is only the shelling reports of Nikoshne as well as Blahodane, according to the Russian Defense Ministry. So that's about it. Ukrainian forces located to be struck by some missile over in Velika Novosilka, but not important. So we move into the Zaporizhia front. So this is Zaporizhia city, and this is Zaporizhia front. At the Zaporizhia front, we have no reports of fighting. The Kayamsky one was not mentioned. Petikivki don't have. There's nothing at the Novoporovska, nothing at Malatomashka, nothing at Robotine, nothing at Verbove. All we have is a shelling report at Huyaipole, according to the Russian Defense Ministry. The past 24 hours, there is no Ukrainian report. So there's only Ukrainian report from 2 days ago. So that's why there's a limited number of reports around here. Some geolocation just off Novo-Oleksandrivka is a Skanda hitting a HIMARS. There is a HIMARS base somewhere around here. That HIMARS have been spotted around here quite a number of times already over the past 1.5 years, and the Russians do hit them around this area here. Again, HIMARS got hit, but the footage is really blur, so I'm not going to assume this 100% HIMARS. But yeah, that's the claim. It's a Iskander missile hitting the HIMARS. So we move into the Zaporizhia Dnipro region. Russian forces shelled these two locations. One is called Veshchetarevsivka, and another one is called Dobra Nadia. Not very important. They are just opposite the Zaporizhia nuclear power plant. And over at the Kherson region, there is no reports of fighting at Krinky. There is only a geolocation at this area of Valentensky or Berehove of Ukrainian forces getting hit by something artillery. So around here, and that's about it over the Kherson front, and that's it. Previously, I also, just before I close, there was previously a report of a Sukhoi 34 crashing at the Alagil district in North Ossetia. So according this Sukhoi 34 crashed, and everyone died on board. There's 2 pilots, both died. The Russians claim that it's a technical malfunction. I haven't seen Ukrainians claim that they shot it down. So maybe it is indeed a technical malfunction. But yeah, so I missed out that report because it's so far away from Ukraine and I was zooming in this way, so I didn't see it. So I just remembered. Anyway, thank you for watching. Do press the like button, subscribe. And I just finished a 5-hour plus DPA open mic, so do check it out. We talk about France, we talk about South Africa, the apartheid system, we talk about Ukraine war. So do check it out. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next update.